Hey there berries, welcome to my first ever League of Legends skin tier list. To start off this series, we're going to be starting off with Sona. I know a lot of you guys enjoy watching Sona, especially if you watch my support content. And I'm finally going to judge what skin is the absolute best on Sona and what is the worst. As you can see on the tier list, we've got S, A, B, no skin, and F. And the no skin is where we're just going to put as a baseline for Sona. If you don't spend any RP, that's what you're getting, and we're going to try and find which skins are maybe a little bit better, a lot better, or just actually just flat out worse than the base model. So that way you know how to spend your RP and or orange essence if you got them from skin shards. In this video, we're going to go and visit every single skin, because I have every single Sona skin, and check out the abilities and things like that to kind of judge and compare them to each of the other skins. So there's timestamps down below if you only want to look at an individual skin. So let's get this started with the very base model of Sona. So here we have the base model of Sona. No skins, no chromas, nothing, just bare bones what you're going to get. Actually, it doesn't look as bad as it used to be. I believe they did update the Sona's model. It's not exactly the worst. We're going to do control 1 first. And generally, Sona's emotes have always been kind of bad anyway. Will be interesting to see if any of there's one skin I can think of that does change this a little bit, which does make it a little bit nicer. But yeah, I think Sona probably has legit some of the worst emotes in the entire game. That was literally all the laughs, all the dances, all the jokes. It's generally pretty bad. Here we've got some target dummies. Base model Q is this. Base model W is this. Base model E. And Sona's ultimate. And we can fire out a power chord. And that's everything to showcase on base model Sona. Now we're going to be taking a look at Sona's first ever skin, which was released when Sona was released, and that is Muse Sona. So you can see the splash art on that one already looks a lot worse than the previous one. That is because Sona had that slight update that I was talking about in the base skin. So this is an updated splash skin. They didn't have the time apparently to update this one, but maybe the skin is better. So here we have the Muse Sona skin in game, and the model looks okay. Had a little bit of a lick of paint with the Sona update, and yeah, the dress looks very nice. It just looks very, it doesn't look special in any way. It's just kind of just subtly quite nice skin. We'll go through the emotes of control 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. So this is control 1. And as you can kind of see, it's just the same as base, nothing new here. This is the dance. That's the laugh. Yeah, nothing really special going on there, but let's see if there's anything special going on with the Q, W, E, or ultimates. So Q, exactly the same as base.
You're doing fine.
W, exactly the same as base. E, the same as base. And why are there minions here ruining my video? And the ultimate, nothing special going there either. So just a very kind of very bare bones basic skin, and not really being changed since the oldie days. And we'll fire out this power chord here, which you can see like nothing particularly special there. So let's go and see where she is placed on the tier list. So now the tricky bit, we need to place Muse Sona somewhere on this tier list. I don't think she adds anything really on top of the base skin. She is kind of rarer to get nowadays, unless you bought her back in the past, which cost 975 RP, which you could probably argue isn't really worth it. The emotes are kind of pretty bad, as so is with the base model. Graphically looking slightly out of date. The dress does look nice, but you could tell it's a bit more out of date. I think this one doesn't really beat the test of even beating the base model. So we are going to put Muse Sona in the F tier. Although I do slightly like the dress a bit more than base. It's like it's not enough to warrant a purchase, or even using some orange essence on, really, especially if you probably own, well, if you own the base model, it doesn't mean you don't need to own any other skin really so far. So next we are going to be looking at the Pentakill Sona skin. There are 2 Pentakill Sonas. We're going to be looking at the very first one. So here we have the Pentakill Sona skin. This is the first Pentakill Sona. Once again, still looking a little bit, you know, dated and old. There's a cool looking tattoo though on that that arm, her right arm. I've actually never noticed that she's had a tattoo before. The emotes, we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. Kind of the same. It's the same emotes still as base. Nothing new, nothing crazy going on there at all. Exactly the same stuff. But the one feature I probably like the most about this is probably the tattoo. I do like the hair as well. But yeah, the dress, I'm not a huge fan of. These floaty chains. Looks like the chains are going directly through her. It's kind of, I don't know, doesn't really... I've never really liked the Pentakill Sona skins, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'm already going to be a little bit biased, but I don't think this skin really adds anything to Sona. So now we're going to do Q, W, E, R, and Ultimate. Q, W, E, Ultimate, and then the power chord. Now it does look like that the ultimate is different compared to base skin Crescendo. Looks quite nice. I mean, it's nice that this skin actually has something. I think, to be honest, to my untrained eye, it does seem like this is the only ability that is augmented on Sona. Feel free to correct me in the comment section down below, but it is quite a nice skin animation. I think the stun animation also on the dummy might be slightly different, but yeah, I don't know. Let's go to the tier list and let's whack it in and see where I rate this. Right, back to the tier list. We did put Muse Sona in F tier. It's nice that the Pentakill Sona had its own alt graphic by the looks of it, but honestly the dress looks worse. It looks still very dated. We're not really worth picking up either, I'm afraid. So yeah, those really old Sona skins, surprise, not really worth it in my opinion in terms of paying RP for. We've still got a lot more old skins to go through. The next one is Silent Night Sona. Now this skin is a tad different. So here we have Silent Night Sona. This skin is particularly nice in my opinion because of a couple of features. Firstly, this skin is only released around Christmas. It's a special event skin, but it was only worth 520 RP, so it's a really, really cheap skin. One of the cheapest skins that you could buy in the shop. We're going to have to turn up the audio for this one. At the same time, there was also a Cogmore Christmas skin that had a continuation from what I'm about to play here from Sona. So there are 2 different separate like little tracks here. Let's see if we can get them both. Still the same one. And then the cool thing with Cogmore, he has this thing where he goes, no, 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 no. I thought it was really cool. Anyway, I hope you like my Cogmore impression. So yeah, this is a Silent Night skin. Give it a little twirl. The dress is very much like base, honestly, just with a couple of stockings and a reef on front. Almost what you probably would call a chroma now, but yeah, there's only 520 RP. You got that kind of like extra little jingle. Everything else in the kind of dances, so that was control 1 doing those little jingles. This is control 2. It's the same as the base models and some of the other skins that we looked at. The dance, same. Now I think that might be slightly different compared to the base skins, but it's still pretty bad. So a step up in the emotes for Sona, a very small step, but it's very nice kind of Christmas skin, and it is cheap, I will say. So at 520 RP, let's see if any of the abilities are augmented. This is the Q, the W, the E, and the ultimate. Got like a little greenish glow to it. Nothing too crazy. If you remember, the Pentakill one had that kind of orangey glow. Power cord being thrown out, pretty much the same in terms of spell effects. You do have kind of this graphic on the bottom under her, which could be slightly different. Is that meant to be a snowflake? It could be actually meant to be a snowflake, which is kind of cool, but also kind of bad at the same time. It doesn't look fantastic. It's just like a nice little addition, really. But I will say it is a step up on base, mainly because of the control one. I for some reason, that is just quite nostalgic to me, and since this is my tier list, well, let's visit over to that and see where I put her. So here we are at the tier list with Sona, Silent Night. I think it's definitely better than those F skins, the Pentakill and the Muse. Base, it's on par with base, but because it's the lamest thing ever, I know. I like that little jingle too much. Is it too much to ask for some decent Sona emotes? But I like it. If you can ever run that with a Cogmore, a Christmas Cogmore, then it's fantastic. I can highly recommend that little combo. But B, I think I'm maybe just being a tad generous here, but I think the RP price also pushes it over when it originally was released at 520 RP, which is very, very cheap for, you know, a whole new skin, even if it is kind of just a chroma. So next on the list is a Sona that I can't pronounce, which we'll try our best with. Okay, so I just checked with Google Pronounce for this one, and it's Guqin Sona. I would have probably said something else completely different, but it's Guqin. It's meant to be a Chinese kind of vibe. I think Guqin is Mandarin, but I don't know. But we're gonna have a look and see what it looks like in game. In terms of splash art, I know we didn't look at necessarily some of the other splash arts, but you can still see it's a little bit on the dated side. This skin was released in January the 10th, 2012. So still 11 years ago. So let's go have a look. So here we have Guqin Sona in game. We're going to give it a little twirl, but I can already see some glaring issues with the model itself. The dress, seemingly fine because it's kind of ripped off of the base. The musical instrument, you see the little league symbols on it, which is kind of cute, but the honestly the Sona model itself looks really bad. It's actually looks like one of the lowest poly models I think I've ever seen in League. It looks really, really, really not good. But then the face, the chest area, the neck, the hands kind of look really kind of freakish, honestly. This could be a Halloween skin, honestly. But we'll do the emotes from 1 to 4 as always. So control 1. Nah. Honestly, it looks like a PlayStation 1 model. As you can see, all the emotes are the same. Pretty bad. I do have that slight Chinese on the control 4, which is a nice little touch, I guess. That's seemingly the only unique thing to do with the emote. But you can tell the skin wasn't optimized for zooming in. We do the Q, W, E, and R. Q, W, E, and then the ultimate, which is the exact same looking as the base model. Power cord is the same, so yeah. And unlike, for example, the Silent Night skin, where we had like the snowflake under us, there's nothing at all going on here. So let's hit the tier list, and I think you guys can already work out where I'm going to be putting this one. So Guqin Sona. It was nice that the control 4 had that unique kind of Chinese Mandarin kind of like sounds to it, but honestly, F tier. Actually, I think right now is if we had a tier below F, I think this would be it. It's one like literally PlayStation 1 Sona model. The musical instrument, the étoile, is nice. In terms of polygon count, and the little icons are kind of cute, but no, like nothing apart from the one little jingle, nothing else unique to it at all. Very disappointing skin. Next we're going to be looking at Arcade Sona. So this is the Arcade Sona splash art, looking pretty funky there. Definitely one of the funkiest Sona skins that we've looked at so far. Pretty cool looking at the different kind of the Street Fighter-esque kind of like buttons there with the joysticks. This skin was released in August the 31st, 2012, going at 1,350 RP. So this one is the most expensive one that we've looked at so far. It was released, believe it or not, in the same year as the Guqin Sona, the Chinese Sona skin. So 7 months later, they then come out with this one. Hopefully it's a big upgrade over the PlayStation 1 model, but let's have a look. So here we have Arcade Sona. Remember, this is more expensive than the other skins that we looked at previously. And already visually, we can see a massive upgrade over the previous skins. The keyboard looks pretty cool, pretty much exactly the same as the splash art. You can see that Sona's playing around with those little Joy-Cons, which is pretty cool, and looking at the playing with the piano buttons. I do like the little the rainbow ribbons. Her hair has like a, goes from like blue to pink, the little stars, and the bracelet things that she's got on there. It looks pretty cool. As a skin, we'll give it a little 12. The little multicolored kind of checkered dress that she's wearing. Overall, visually, a very nice on the eyes, appealing kind of skin, very bright, colorful, and kind of like happy looking. So yeah, we're gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4 and see if there's anything new here with the emotes. Some little groovy there arcane sounds to see if there's any other tracks there. Little bit, like it's a step up in terms of Sona emotes, but I wish Riot kind of did a little bit more with Sona in terms of emotes. I think there could have been a lot more here. Number 2, quite a nice keyboard kind of smashing sound compared to the other ones. Definitely a new audio sound there too. Dance, a little bit more jiggle there on the Etwell, but nothing kind of crazy there. Pretty bad dance model there. So that's her laughing. Not great. Like they're all custom sounds. Whoever's had to take over this did what they could with the limited kind of even time frame really on those emotes. So yeah, I mean, it's a step up. It's probably the better emotes that we've seen so far. Let's go check out the Q, W, E, R, and ultis. So this is the Q. And right away, you can tell there's a massive difference with the actual. So let's do the Q again. There's little lines breaking out from the center of Sona. Massive difference. And also the power cord charging, swirling around her looks really cool, actually. I've not noticed that before. I don't actually usually play with Arcade Sona, so this is nice seeing for the first time. I do like the little waves going around. I'm assuming that would also change when we use our W. So let's press W. Same theme there with the lines breaking out, so that's seemingly going to be a theme here with the other auras, but the different color power cords spinning around. I would probably argue though that this is slightly pay to lose because the enemy can see what kind of power cord that you are going to be throwing out a lot easier. But visually for you as playing Sona, that looks really cool actually, and also can visually help you understand maybe if you're kind of lost on tracking on what power cord you're on. I can see. So you see those little 3 bars below Sona's mana bar? They didn't used to be there. So that could have been actually a really helpful indicator to remind yourself what power cord you're potentially on without, if you're kind of lost in what's going on. So let's have a look at the E. Nice little pinky purple coming out there. And let's check out the ultimate here too. Symphony. So that's pretty cool and unique compared to some of the other Sona ultimates. So yeah, everything about this is unique. You got the kind of dance revolution kind of like arrows there being thrown out, and even the yellow perimeter of the ultimate is also different as well. So this skin is 1,350, I believe, or at least it used to be. Where do I think this goes on the tier list? So back to the tier list, we have the Arcade Sona skin. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than the other skins, but I can definitely say it's better than the base model. That's absolutely for sure. Adds a lot. Definitely adds more than the Silent Night Muse skin. Now, how far up into A and S are we going to go here? I actually quite like the skin a lot. I think in terms of value, I think it is pretty good. It's custom spell effects on everything. You've got custom audio effects on everything. I will say though, in terms of the custom effects on the QWE in particular, nothing too over the top and fancy, but it's definitely more subtle in the arcadey kind of feel. I think it does its job pretty well. It's a very old skin, and I'm actually going to put this in the S. It is crazy though that the Chinese Sona skin came out the same year as Arcade Sona. What a step up that was by Riot. 6 months difference between those skins. Absolutely crazy difference. And that was from 2012. Yeah, I think it stood the test of time. That skin is over 10 years old. And yeah, I would, you know, if I wanted to buy a Sona skin, I would buy that. I would actually buy that. It's actually pretty good. So yeah. The next one we're also going to be looking at though is another more expensive skin, and it is going to be the ultimate skin. So let's have a look at the ultimate skin for Sona. So next up we have DJ Sona, which is Sona's ultimate skin. This skin got released a few years after Arcade Sona, a full 3 years afterwards, and is nearly triple the price of the Arcade Sona skin. At a whopping 3,250 RP. So we were going to be taking this into consideration when applying this to our tier list. Is this skin worth almost 3 times the amount of the Arcade Sona skin that we did put in that S tier? So is this going to be like an S++ skin? There are a few features to this one. As you can see on the splash art, you've got the animated background. You've also got 3 different kind of forms there with the QWE. You got different music styles. You got music sharing ability with your teammates as well. So the music that you're hearing, you're basically like a DJ, and your teammates can turn it on and off from the scoreboard. But yeah, let's go see what it looks like in game. So here we have DJ Sona and what it looks like in game. You got some pretty cool decks there. I like the kind of the wisps almost coming out of the headpiece there. We'll do a little spin around. Little spin there. Skin in itself looks pretty cool. It's definitely unique compared to what we've already seen. You know, the other one being kind of unique was the arcade one, but this is definitely a step up with all the extra speakers bouncing up and down. Just generally looks pretty clean and pretty good. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there's a 5th additional emote button which will allow us to change up the music to what our teammates are hearing. So this is control 1. Power kind of goes out on the keyboard, and she kind of flips the table, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a unique emote to Sona compared to the other ones. This is the second one where she kind of jumps at the table and kind of points at her eyes and points to the enemy. You got the little cat dance on 3. A little bit of a jiggle there too. On number 4, it's meant to be a laugh, but it's pretty lame actually. It's probably the worst one there. But if we do control 5, we have the power to change the music in game, and it kind of transforms the deck into a different color. There's 3 different forms here, and it completely changes the theme of the music as well. This is the other one as well. It's probably my favorite in terms of aesthetic. The keyboard does look pretty cool. Almost looks like some sort of space kind of craft control panel or something there. But yeah, those are the 3 different forms. It's really cool that you kind of have like almost like 3 different kind of chromas in one. Honestly, you can kind of change it up a little bit depending on what you want, and maybe even what kind of music you prefer. So we're gonna have a look at the Q, W, E, and R now. So let's press the Q. So you kind of got these if you look at the Q, you kind of got these bouncing waves coming off. It's very subtle but very aesthetically pleasing to look at. The W as well. Same, it's just a different color with the W. The E will be the same, with the little waves bouncing off. Now let's have a look at the power chords. around Sona. So we've got the purple power chord going, the W power chord, and the Q power chord. So it's kind of a bit like the Arcade Sona skin, how that's, you know, the first skin that really kind of augmented what the power chord looks like around Sona. And then it's just doing E power chord out onto the enemy. You can see that the little graphic when they're getting slowed there, for example, was like little sound bars going up and down. Let's have a look at the ultimate. Ultimate is actually pretty bland compared to like the Arcade Sona skin. The Arcade Sona skin had a lot different going to it. So as you can see, there's not a massive amount. The debuff on the enemy for being stunned does look quite nice. But honestly, not a huge amount going for the ultimate graphically wise. Now if we change up in terms of the different skins, you got, so this is with the Q kind of soundboard going. You got different features there too. So you got the W has also got bars bouncing off of Sona, which is pretty cool. The ultimate does look slightly different, but not a huge change overall. And then with the whatever form this is meant to be, the red form, we've got the Q, you got like the little zigzags coming off, the W, E, ultimate. Definitely looks more aggressive. This one has the biggest change in terms of what the ultimate looks like. So really, you kind of have almost like 3 skins in one. You know, you can change it up in whatever game you want, whatever you want to look like. Feeling like in a different mood. Skin for different moods. You can change chromas on the fly essentially, but it's not just a chroma because the skill effects are augmented as well. The emotes don't change though in the different forms. But now let's go have a look at the tier list and try and identify where we're going to place this. Back to the tier list with DJ Sona. Is it better than the base skin? Yeah. Is it better than the Silent Night skin? Yeah. Is it on par or even better than Arcade Sona skin? Yes, but I'm going to put like a little asterisk here, a little warning here. This is, don't forget, nearly triple the price of Arcade Sona. But you are kind of getting 3 skins in one. You're getting 3 music themes, which is pretty rare in the League client, at least anyway. I would love for it to implement more music themes. So if you want some kind of custom gems in your game, and also your teammates can benefit from it too, it's pretty nice. The spell effects are pretty clean. I will say that the ultimate overall kind of graphically is probably the most disappointing factor of it. The QWE does look really, really good. I will say it's not feeling like the perfect skin. If I had to like weigh up, I think it probably does outweigh the Arcade Sona skin slightly if it was the same price point. Actually, probably not even slightly. It is better than the Arcade Sona skin in terms of, yeah, overall. But because of the price, it does set it back a little bit from being even beyond S and maybe moving Arcade Sona down to A. But it's a very good skin. Whether or not you want to spend over 3,000 RP on a skin or not is, you know, negotiate that one with your bank. But if you have that amount of RP to spend and you do want to slash out and treat yourself, I think the DJ Sona skin is still a very good skin. The next skin is the Sweetheart Sona skin. This is a, I want to say Halloween, but it's not. Valentine's Day skin. Halloween, Valentine's Day, ugh, both basically the same thing. So this one is released almost a year after DJ Sona, the ultimate skin. This is 2016. Still 7 years away from where we are until current time. Let's see how it does compared to the other ones. I will say that this skin is the cheaper one, the cheapest kind of one that we looked at most recently. Remember, DJ Sona was over 3,000 RP. Arcade Sona was 1.3k-ish RP. This one is 975, so definitely significantly cheaper than some of those other skins, but let's see what it looks like in game. So here we have Sweetheart Sona. We'll give the skin a little twirl around. As you can see, it's a dramatic downgrade compared to what we've seen recently in the previous skins. Definitely a much more basic skin, kind of back to how Sona used to kind of look like. Not quite as bad as the Chinese Sona PlayStation 1 model, but nothing really that fancy coming out of it. I mean, it's kind of a cute little skin if you like having a themed skin for, you know, different times of year. We'll go through 1, 2, 3, 4 on the emotes and kind of see if there's any difference there. That's number 1. So these are all kind of the same as the previous one. This is the dance, the exact same dance as you would get on the base model. That's the laugh, exactly the same as base. Let's test out this Q, W, E, and R. So we're going to do Q. So you can see, at least they changed the spell effects on this on the Q here. So you can see that little hearts on the north, east, south, and west. Although they do kind of look something else, not safe for work, maybe. I'll let you use your own imagination. The W and the E. And you might have noticed around Sona is these little hearts for the power cord, which is kind of a cute extra. It does look kind of low res though, I will say. The hearts don't look that graphically that nice zoomed in, but zoomed out they look fine. Honestly, zoomed out they absolutely look fine. If you zoom in a bit, you can start counting the pixels. Yeah, that's like a nice little addition to it. Now let's use a power cord. Power cord doesn't really change at all. Let's have a look at the ultimate. Ultimate's kind of cute with the hearts coming out. It's nice that they actually customized the look of that, and the little hearts coming off of the stun target is quite nice. Okay, let's go have a look and see what it looks like on the tier list. Back to the tier list with the Heart Song Sona. The skin overall, it's very average. Not an expensive skin by any means. It's nice that we have this custom spell effects on the QWE. Ulti was quite surprising how, you know, the little hearts looking cool, the passive. No emote changes, model relatively bland, but honestly I'd probably put it on the same tier as the nose skin. I don't think it's I don't know, I don't think like it adds anything extra to the Sona gameplay. You got the extra like kind of little spell effects here and there, but I don't feel like necessarily it warrants buying unless you really want to play something like that during like Valentine's, if you're with your partner or something like that. I don't know, it sounds kind of not my kind of cup of tea, but it's available there. Maybe you can pick it up on a sale, then it maybe be in the same kind of tier as Silent Night. I mean, I'm biased towards Silent Night, don't at me, okay? For some reason I'm so nostalgic about the little Christmas jingle. I don't know, maybe I just like Christmas too much. I don't know, but so yeah, I don't feel like this is any better than the base skin. So let's head over to the next skin, which is going to be Odyssey. So here we have the Odyssey Sona splash art, and I will say compared to some of the other splash arts that we've looked at, this is by far the most impressive one so far. Very beautiful, very colorful. One of the honestly most impressive splash shots in League. Honestly, this skin came out back in September the 12th, 2018, so it's over 5 years old now, but it's still splash art wise standing the test of time. But does the skin hold up in game? Well, let's find out. So this is Odyssey Sona in game, and we'll give it a little twirl. Now overall, I'm not actually that big of a fan of the model of this skin and the little yellow jello in front of her. Just kind of want her just to kneel over and just slurp that yellow ball up. But we'll take a look at the emotes on 1 to 4. Yeah, I mean, the sound effects are overall honestly probably worse than the base somehow. I don't like this at all. This is the laugh. It's honestly just terrible. Really seemingly like low effort on the sound there. It's worse than bass, honestly. The one thing I do kind of like on the model though is like the blue flappy cape, but honestly that's about it. Let's have a look at the spell effects and see if it gets any better there. So here's the Q. Here's the W. Here's the E. And then here's the ultimate. Now I think you can see where the big selling point of this skin is, and the Q, W, E, and R spell effects are pretty beautiful, right? Let's have a look at the power chord around the Sona. So we've got different kind of shapes there for where the different power chord as well. It's not just the same kind of model there either. Like W kind of enhances her shoulder pads. The E kind of is just like a purple aura around her. The Q is, I don't know what that is. Let's do the power chord E on the target dummy. Little kind of aura effect there, but nothing too crazy going. But that Q is, the aura there is beautiful. Like that is probably the best Q that we've seen so far. It really is fantastic, isn't it? It's just, I could look at that all game easily. That was so nice. The W, it's okay. It's a little bit ugly. It's not as good as the Q by any means. The E, I think looks quite nice too. The pink with the little kind of star signs going around the constellations look quite nice too. It's just a W looks to me kind of the planetary systems going over whatever's going on there. It doesn't look fantastic, but this Q is gorgeous. I think I'm gonna have a tough time ranking this one, but let's see if we can. So Odyssey Sona, and where does she stack up on the tier list? It's a tough one. I think we can all agree it's not S tier, right? I hope I'm not gonna get grief for that. It's nowhere near on the same kind of caliber, in my opinion, as either the DJ Sona skin or the Arcade Sona skin. Even though I don't like the model, it's not as bad as Muse Sona and a couple of the, the Chinese skin and also the Pentakill one. It's definitely a better model than that, but I don't think it's a vast improvement on base. So I've got a little bit of an issue here on the base model, but the spell effects really do kind of take it over the edge here. And honestly, I'm kind of stuck in a position between A and B because I really don't like the model. I really would find it difficult to play a whole game with Odyssey because of the model. If the model wasn't as bad as it is, I think it would be an easy A, potentially an S candidate, but because the model overall is not better than base. You do have that gorgeous Q, but then the W is also kind of ugly in my opinion as well. So the Q and the E are good looking. The ult's nice too. The emotes are the worst emotes though also. The worst sounding emotes in the model, and the emotes are really, really bad. I think a solid B is fine to make. The Q and the E spell effects in particular carry this skin really hard, because if it wasn't for those, this could be worse than the PlayStation 1 Chinese skin, man. I don't like it at all, the model. It's very off-putting, but I think B is a fair place for it. I mean, this skin, it's a little bit more expensive than some of those other ones as well. So is it worth buying? If you like the model, then I think this is going to be ranked higher for you. If you like the model on the Odyssey Sona, then yeah, I think it will be worth more. But the next one though that we are going to be looking at is a little bit. I think it was like one of the fan favorite ones when it came out. It is the PsyOps Sona. Now I know my ex-community manager in the LPP is a massive Sona fan, and she was super excited for when this one was coming out. Splash art in itself looks kind of cool and getting almost like X-Men kind of vibes from this one. let's see how it looks in game. So here we have the PsyOps Sona skin. Now note that we are currently level 1. In the previous showings we were a higher level because there is a special effect when you do unlock your ultimate on this skin. So as you can kind of see, she's in like a robotics like jacket there. She's kind of tied in. She can't really do anything like with her. She can't move her limbs really. She's kind of strapped up to all of these kind of different panels. So a little spin around here. So it's kind of like got a control panel there. Looks like she's hooked up to some wires and a couple of monitors there. We're going to do control 1, 2, 3, 4. So control 1. So she's trying to mind read what's on the other side of the card, and unfortunately she gets it wrong every single time. And she gets punished for it, which is kind of cruel. Number 2. Little bit of a spin animation there. Number 3. Already my favorite emote so far that we've seen so far. That is fantastic. What more could you want, right? It's great. And number 4. The laugh is an actual laugh. So yeah, this is why I think a lot of the fans like this one, because the emotes themselves are a step up beyond everything that we've already seen before. So emote wise, huge job there from Riot. Now, when you actually level up, so let's give ourselves some levels. So we're now level 6, and then when we unlock the ultimate, we can also see that she's got her arms back now. She's a bit more in control. There's a couple of little effects going on there too when she's like kind of standing there AFK. She's also got different voice sounds as well when you're moving around and, you know, when she's talking to you. So we do another little spin around here. Kind of cool. I will say the skin has lots of chromas. I think this the base of this, not particularly great looking color wise. I think there are some better color schemes that you can get with chromas, but we're only going to be looking at the base model here. So do control 1, 2, 3, 4 again to see if anything changes. So control 1. So she still gets it wrong, even though she has leveled up. She's not very good at mind reading what's on the card. Number 2, spin effect, slightly changing because she has got that extra limb movement there with her arms. Control 3. There we go, she's standing on top this time, getting her groove on. Pretty cool. Going into control 4. The laugh. But yeah, I think we can all agree the emotes here are probably the best from the skin line that we've seen so far. Now, let's go and check out the QWER. So we do the Q. So you can kind of see like the Psy like kind of thing going on there too. Her hands also glow quite brightly when she does the Q. I don't quite like the glow on the Q, and on the allies' hands as well glow quite brightly as well. I think it's quite a distracting skin really. Like it's a nice spell effect, but I think it's just a little bit too much for me personally. Let's have a look at the W. W is not as bad on the eyes, it's a bit softer, but still I'd argue kind of basic, although the power chord animation there for the W will add is pretty nice looking. The E, I think the same kind of effect as the Q, but I think the purple kind of pulls off a bit nicer. Just go back to the Q again. The Q just looks a lot more harsher on the eyes in my opinion, and especially when you look at Sona as well, it's kind of cool, but also it's kind of a little bit distracting as well. Let's have a look at the ultimate. Ultimate does look quite good compared to some of the other ultimates that we looked before. Very unique effect. I would argue it's not necessarily the best one that we've seen, but it's nice. Like it's not a bad skin at all. The emotes being changed is a huge win in my book. The model when you're walking around, I don't have, you know, that many issues seeing like, you know, flickering objects and stuff, but it, like the power cord in itself, it does look a little bit much. It is very distracting and honestly very sore on the eyes. So I'd say that's a negative amount of that going on for the entirety of the game. If you've got a power cord and you're running out of lane or whatever, like, I'm not a massive fan of the flashing on Sona, to be honest. So yeah, let's go hit the tier list and then let's go see where we can actually place her. So PsyOps Sona on the tier list. It's a tough one for me to place. The primary reason is it's really nice that the emotes have changed. Credit to Riot for actually finally changing Sona emotes and making them better. Definitely the best emotes in the game, but to me the most important thing is how the model looks like in game, and then probably the spell effects, and then the emotes, because it's not often that you're going to get to spam the emotes. They're kind of nice to spam for like the first couple of minutes of the game, but then after that, unless there's like some meme potential with the skin, then it's not really that valuable in my book. But it's definitely a step up on base skin. I think we can all agree on that for sure. Step up on B, it's visually better than Odyssey Sona. The spell effects are not as good as Odyssey, I'd say. I'd say Odyssey's actually got better spell effects. PsyOps Sona has better emotes. But I do like a bit more how, you know, when you hit level 6, she kind of breaks away. And okay, I don't know about usually about way emotes too highly, but like the dance was pretty good. I think it's an A. I think it's a solid A pick. But on the whole, it's a solid skin. It really is a solid skin. And if you kind of like that X-Men kind of like feel to it, then yeah, I think it's definitely a suitable purchase if you're into that kind of sort of thing. Now the next skin we're going to be looking at is, we're back to Pentakill. Pentakill 3 this time, Lost Chapter Sona. So this is the Pentakill 3 Sona skin. I don't know what happened to Pentakill 2. We kind of skipped one when there was Sona because there was no Pentakill 2 Sona. But we are on Pentakill 3 Sona. The skin itself looks definitely a bigger step up from what we saw with the first Pentakill skin. Graphically wise, is definitely a tier up. The will cost you a little bit more. This is a 1,350 RP skin. Was released in September the 9th, 2021, so a couple of years old. But you know, I mean, you can tell that it's a more recent skin for sure. It just looks a little bit more graphically pleasing. So we could do a little twirl here. Even though I'd say the model itself is more HD, I will say that it doesn't look dramatically better than base model by that much, honestly, really. It still looks kind of basic and things like that, but let's have a look and see what the emotes look like. So number 1. So you kind of got a sense of like a little bit, a taste, a lick, I don't even, yeah, of Pentakill. It's a shame that they don't do more on that though, right? So the dance, I think for the first time really, apart from PsyOps, I guess, that's got music. This is the second time where they've actually added a little bit of music to Sona, but they could have done more than this, really, surely, right? And this is the laugh. I don't know. Because it's a 1,350 and they've already showed off what they can do with like PsyOps, and this skin's not that old really now. I'm disappointed actually at how these emotes are compared to like the PsyOps, for example. I think this is definitely a downgrade. I know the PsyOps one is a legendary one, which is around 1,800, but they should have implemented a bit more Pentakill in that at least anyway. But let's go have a look at the Q, W, E, and R and power chord passive and see if there's anything there that, you know, really makes me wow. Honestly, I don't like that at all. It's a custom, you know, Q circle there, but I honestly hate it. I'm not a fan of that graphic at all. The W, they got something else going with it too. I don't like it either. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like it. E... Meh. The ultimate? The ultimate's got a graphic there going down, but who's following me? Who's subscribing to me on YouTube? I'm trying to record Sona content, but I don't know. I'm not impressed by the skin at all. Let's have a look at the power chords. We'll go to the Q there around. You got like this little blue little outline, which I'd say is it's okay looking. The étoile kind of colors up a little bit too. Let's do the power chord slow on the target. Nah, let's whack it on the tier list, and I think you're probably going to guess where it's going to end up. So I think compared to what we've seen recently, that is definitely by far one of the most disappointing skins, especially when we've slowly seen them progressively get better and better with Sona skins, from the PlayStation 1 model up to, you know, DJ, PsyOps, Odyssey, had definitely some elements about them that were like really like wow factors. Honestly, nothing wowing about it at all. Very disappointed. I'm more disappointed with Pentakill Sona 3 actually than I am with Pentakill 1, because at least they had the excuse that the skin was over 10 years old, right? This one's, the newer one is only like 3 years old, and okay, the model looks a little bit more HD, but honestly, they could have played more into the Pentakill theme. I don't know why they didn't. The sound effects as well, they could have gone crazy there, but they chose not to. Honestly, I think it was a very low effort there by Riot. F, I think it is a very fair placement for that one. Next we have Guqin Sona. Now Guqin Sona was released in 2022, which wasn't that long ago actually. I felt like the skin probably got released ages ago. So July the 14th, 2022. Value of 1,350 RP. Let's go check it out and see what it looks like in game. Here we have the Guqin Sona skin, and as with the same with all the Guqin skins, when you come out of Fountain, you get the little Guqin music soundtrack going. Model wise, let's do a little spin. I think it's okay. I'm not overly fond of it. I don't like skins that kind of try and make the characters look younger than what they are. I do feel like that's what they went with this, with the kind of like school vibe stuff. I think the overall Guqin has some Guqin. I mean, basically it is Guqin. Definitely make the champions look a lot younger. I feel like there's a couple of Guqin skins that are kind of okay and pull it off okay, but I don't know, with Sona it just feels a little bit almost on the creepy side of things, if you know what I mean. Not a massive fan of the model. This is base as well without chroma. I think a couple of chromas can make her look nicer, but if you have to pay a chroma, then we're not going to count it, and also it's kind of stupid. But yeah, I very flappy hair, but honestly I'm not a massive fan of the model. But let's go have a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4 and see how it goes. A little bit of a weird track going on there. It sounds like the sound testing thing, you know, when you're at the movies. Like, sounds a bit like that. I don't know what they're going for with that, honestly. Alright, number 2. I don't know, it seems bad. This is the dance. You get like a 1 second, 2 second track of Guqin music there maybe, but why not longer? Why not longer? And this is the number 4. This is the laugh. Honestly, feels like we're going backwards now with these skins on Sona, but okay. Let's have a look at the Q, W, E, and R. Q looks quite nice. I'll give them that. The blue and the purples, I do like that. The little symbols are subtle, but they don't. I would honestly probably prefer this without the symbols. I don't think that the symbols add much at all. Let's have a look at the W. It's the same thing, same graphical pattern, but just a different color. That pinky purple does look quite nice. Let's have a look at the power cord on top of us. This is the E power cord. W power cord is just a subtle ring around Sona, nothing too crazy. And let's do it, fire out a power cord slow on the target dummy. Got a little Star Guardian little shape there. It's okay, like nothing crazy. Let's have a look at the ultimate. I do like the colours and you can hear the very short track of Star Guardian being played there, which I think is quite nice. I kind of wish they went more into that, because you know Sona is playing a musical instrument. Why not just let her rip out some more Star Guardian music throughout the entire game? We'll never know. But yeah, let's go find out where this gets placed on the tier list. So on the tier list for Star Guardian Sona, kind of disappointed actually. This skin's only, you know, year and a half old. There are a lot better skins that got released years ago. Model, it's like, it's only like okay to kind of look at. It's only like, the spell effects are okay. You could argue that maybe a step up above the base model. The ult looks okay too, but honestly, I'm just gonna place it as on the no skin line. It's I don't think it really adds much, and you're paying extra money to have the Star Guardian there as well. Honestly, I'd say it's not worth the purchase. It's better than the F tier skins, but I don't know, it doesn't add anything. Really doesn't add anything in my opinion. Next, we're going to be looking at Immortal Journey Sona first, and then we're going to be looking at the Prestige Edition version after this. Now, this skin was released in 2023, which was on August the 16th, so it's a very recent skin as of posting of this video. I'm going to take it one step at a time though, so we will look at the base version of this skin and then look at the Prestige version. I do have both. Yeah, let's have a look at what Immortal Journey Sona looks like in game. So this is the Immortal Journey Sona skin in game. No chromas, once again, just base. In terms of visually appealing model, I think it looks quite nice. You got the double tone there of the kind of the purpley, like the dark purple, light purple, white theme going on. I'm gonna give the little spin. I think the dress itself looks quite nice. I think that the étoile looks really nice too. Minions? Excuse me? What are you doing here? This isn't your time. Anyway, let's get those out of the way. Yeah, I think like as a model, playing it, it looks quite nice. I do like the colors on this base. Let's have a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4 and see if that adds anything to Sona. Got kind of like a little drop heading there, but honestly, compared to what we've seen from before, like stuff like PsyOps and stuff, this is kind of disappointing so far. Now these emotes are better than the base model, but there wasn't huge competition anyway, and I don't think it's that big of an increase. Let's have a look at Control 3. So this is the dance. Got like a little jingle there, but it doesn't look that great overall. Number 4. That's the laugh. Emote game, not strong. I'm not strong on a lot of these Sona skins. Let's have a look at the Q, W, E, and R. Okay, Sona, that's enough. Shush. Q spell effects. Definitely a lot more going on, but I kind of like it overall. It's not the best, I think, in terms of the Q circle. I think so far, I think Odyssey Q is so far the winner on the Q, but it's definitely up there in the Sona skins, but I think there could still be improvements here. W, kind of the same, just a different color. E as well, kind of the same, just a generally different color. And let's have a look at the power cord aura around ourselves. So what really changes here is like these kind of like wings out of the étoile. Looks quite nice. Yeah, the different colors, that does look nice. Let's apply the power cord slow to the target dummy. Nothing really new there. The ultimate does look kind of nice. Almost looks like Zaya feathers coming out there, like the 3 little lines. Looks like maybe like a trident. Don't like the sound it makes though. I'm not a fan of that noise. I think this one might be a more controversial take. So I don't think some of you are going to like where I'm going to place this on the tier list, but let's head over there and let's have a look. Okay, so now we got to place Immortal Journey Sona skin. Now I know at the moment, I know it's fresh and new, a lot of people do like this skin. The model is good. It's better than base. Now, the emotes, they're worse than PsyOps emotes. Let's be honest, they're worse than PsyOps emotes. The QWE spell effects animations, they're not as harsh as like the PsyOps, but they're nothing special either. I'd say they're kind of just, you know, they went kind of safe on it. Ultimate, I don't like that much really. The power cord feathers on the passive with the feathers kind of spraying out. You know what? It's a B. I think this is a B for me. I have been using the prestige version of Immortal Sona. I don't think I've ever actually used this Immortal Sona skin before. And yeah, I don't think I'll have any reason to. There's nothing special about it, if I'm going to be completely honest. I know I'm probably going to have a few upset people in the comment section, but yeah, Immortal's Journey Sona is kind of overrated. But yeah, let's have a look at, as of today, the only other Sona skin that we haven't looked at, and that's going to be the Prestige. So this is the splash art for the Prestige Immortal Journey Sona, and it does look good. It really does. It reminds me a lot of how good the Odyssey Sona splash art looks like. Yeah, this does look it looks really nice. It's definitely up there. I think overall my favorite splash art is probably still the Odyssey one, but this is like a very close second. I think I'm loving a lot of the color theme here, the whites, the blues. So I like that a lot personally. I almost like the kind of like the ribbons with the attached daggers too as well. That looks really kind of cool too. And the instrument she's playing on looks really Starry Night-esque as well. Splash art wise, it looks good, but let's see how it looks like in game. And we've also got to factor in that this is a prestige skin, so it's not cheap at all. Now finally we have the Prestige Immortal Journey Sona skin. Now you can tell graphically this is kind of a step up from the Immortal Journey base. I mean, at the end of the day, this is kind of only a chroma really if you're looking at the model only base wise, but I do like the aesthetic of it. Got a slight KDA kind of feel to it in terms of like, you know, the gems, the diamonds shining off. Let's do a little twirl here, kind of on like this cloak thing as well. There's little KDA kind of jewel things going on there too. I do like the dress, and also like as in the splash art, you know, those little knives we were talking about attached to the ribbons there too, which is pretty cool too. Let's see if the emotes have changed at all. The emotes are basically the same as the base Immortal Journey Sona. So nothing cool really going on with that, so no bonus points. So let's go have a look at the QWER. So here we have the Q. A little bit more going on with the Q there. You kind of have, once again, almost the KDA-esque of like the kind of crystals rippling around. The W here, little lotus flowers kind of like dancing around a little bit, but just subtly, not to be like annoying like the Odyssey Sona skin, you know, those planets that are floating around. Now we have the E, just subtly, like it's just subtle. There's not much going on there, but it's just generally quite nice to look at. One of the things we need to look at is the power cord rotations of these little daggers going around. I think that looks kind of cool. The little swords dancing around Sona on the power cord does look pretty nice, and is probably the most unique power cord passive you have out of all of the skins. Let's go see how that looks like fired off onto this target dummy. So you kind of saw 3 of those daggers kind of coming out there. So let's build up that power cord again. If you look at the actual power cord flying out, those 3 daggers do fly out onto the target dummy. How does the ultimate look? Let's have a look. So the ultimate, once again, kind of looks a little bit KDA-esque, a little bit gemmy. So yeah, let's see what it looks like on the tier list itself. So here we have the final placement of a Sona skin on the tier list. Ignore the other 2. I believe these 2 are from Wild Rift and we're only doing the PC client. So Prestige, Immortal, Journey, Sona. So we put the base one in B. Is it better than base Immortal Journey? Yeah, it is. But is it more expensive? Yeah. It is a lot more expensive. You kind of have to buy a pass to get the Mythic Essence, and then if you miss it in the shop window, it's going to be a lot more stressful to pick up. Now, is it an A or an S? I think it's slightly better. I think we can safely put in an A, but actually I don't think it's an S tier skin. Even though it's the newest one, it's one of the most expensive ones. DJ Sona, maybe slightly more expensive, I'm not sure. They're roughly around about the same price. I just think you get more bang for your buck with the DJ Sona skin, honestly, with the music tracks, the kind of different 3 skins in one that you get the DJ. Prestige Immortal Journey Sona is kind of nice, and it might be valued higher for you if you are a fan of like the KDA aesthetic. I personally not really that bothered by the KDA aesthetic. The colors or the model itself look quite nice and pleasing to look at, but on the whole, it's not got that wow factor. There's nothing that really, like, you know, wows you more over it. But is it a step up over the Immortal Journey? If you like really like the Immortal Journey stuff, then the Prestige one is definitely, like, you know, the next one that you should maybe be looking at and thinking of getting. But honestly, I think PsyOps is also pretty good. You got the arcade and the DJ ones at the top there. I think I'm happy with this tier list, actually, with where I placed the stuff. It's kind of made me think a little bit about the kind of skins I'm going to be using in my games. I'm going to use Arcade Sona skin a lot more than what I have done, because I don't think I've really ever used that skin before, and I was actually quite impressed in how that actually looks like in game, considering that skin is over 10 years old. DJ Sona skin as well, very, very old skin as well, and both bangers. Honestly, they did a really good job of those skins, that they've kind of stood the test of time. PsyOps as well, one of the newer ones, has a lot of good pluses about it too. But yeah, I mean, most of the skins in the F tier are the really old ones that first got released. But this Pentakill 3 one, once again, like, if they ever do another Pentakill Sona skin, they really need to go a lot harder into the Pentakill theme of it. I mean, Sona has a musical instrument, for goodness sake. Like, at least incorporate that a little bit more. So there's a couple of Fs here that didn't hit the mark. Controversial also pick off Silent Night Sona and B, but it's there in there. I like it. So yeah, maybe the Odyssey as well, another controversial one, because I know a lot of people do like the Odyssey skin, but I just don't like the model. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Do let me know what your favorite Sona skin is and what you pick up in solo queue. I would be interested to find out what you Sona mains play. And if you like this content, don't forget to thumbs up, as always. Subscribe. I do want to make more videos like this. I find it's pretty fun, so do keep on the lookout, you know, with the subscribe button to find the next tier list that I make. Let me know also what support you want me to cover next. There's lots of skins for some of these supports, especially the older release ones, so I'm sure we can get some long video content for you there too. So all the best. Hopefully this helps your decision in terms of what Sona skin to pick up with your RP, and hope you have a good day. Bye berries.